So October 29 was World Stroke Day, but how much do you know about strokes? Can you detect it? Well, acting chairperson of the Jamaica Stroke Alliance, Dr. Kimikawa Morgan Chana, joins us now to tell us more about this illness. Morning, Doc. I hope I pronounced everything right just now.
Yes, you did. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, man, great to have you on Smile Jamaica. I hope all is well with you and your family.
Yes, thank you.
Fantastic. What is a stroke?
So, stroke is the sudden onset of a neurological deficit after a blood vessel either bursts or there's a blockage to the central nervous system, which includes the brain, the spine.
Can I tell that a stroke is coming on or no?
So, we want all Jamaicans to think of be fast. And that is to show you the essence of a stroke is an emergency, just like heart attack, where there's not enough blood getting to the brain and there's going to be loss of cells. There's about 1.9 million cells that are lost when you have a stroke. So we want you to be fast. So be fast stands for one, B, loss of balance in coordination. And then E, eyes. Think about eyes. Is there a sudden loss of vision in one eye or double vision? This could be a sign of stroke. Then we want to think about F. F is for face. So you ask the patient, smile. If there's drooping on one side of their smile, then there may be a stroke occurring there, or there's facial numbness, or there's weakness on that side. That's the face. Now for A, we want you to think about arms. You ask the patient, lift your arm up. Or it could be a weakness in the limbs, the lower limbs, like the legs. So you could ask them to lift their leg up. If they're unable to do this, lift an arm or a limb, sudden onset, this could be a stroke. And then for S, think about speech. Ask the patient to do a simple phrase like the sky is blue. If they have slurring of their speech, if they're unable to say anything, this could be a sign of stroke. And therefore, T, time to get to the hospital immediately. Get an ambulance, get a taxi, do not drive yourself. Go straight to hospital, not a doctor's office, because you need to go to the hospital for rapid evaluation and rapid therapy if you are indicated for it.
So if I'm around someone who is experiencing an episode, they're having a stroke, doc, what do I do?
Well, first, we want you to identify the B fast. Mm-hmm. If one or two or any of them are abnormal, get to the hospital.
All right.
This is not the time to go to sleep. This is not the time to say, boy, somebody opioid me, I'll go to the doctor or whatever. This is the time to get to hospital.
Yeah. Are there different types of strokes? I know you're telling us about B fast, but can it manifest in other ways that I may or may not recognize as a stroke?
Right. So there are different varying presentations of stroke. But for the person who wants to be able to identify a stroke quickly, the B fast work. What types of stroke you can have? There are two main types. There's the hemorrhagic stroke and the ischemic stroke. And the ischemic stroke is related to a lot of risk factors, which we know Jamaicans have. From the last Jamaica Healthy Lifestyle Survey in 2016 to 2017, 57% of our Jamaican population between 15 and 75 said that they have hypertension, according to the American College of Cardiology's definition of hypertension. So we know Jamaicans are at risk for stroke, and we want them to be able to identify a stroke quickly with some common symptoms that a patient will present with.
Yeah. If you get to the hospital as quickly as you would want us to get to the hospital, is this, are you looking at a full recovery or no?
So what we have found is if a patient makes a criteria for what we call IV thrombolytic therapy, clot buster, and they are found on imaging to have a clot inside that vessel, we can give them the IV clot buster within 3 hours. Typically, what we want to get people in within 3 hours of onset of their symptoms, they're able to get that clot buster. And what studies have shown, it improves function, because we want people to be limited in the disability after a stroke. And that helps. Another thing that helps is coming to the hospital, you are started on a rehabilitation therapy schedule. And that also can help recovery of function and reducing disability. So giving you both medical, pharmacotherapy, and the rehab.
Yeah. You mentioned data about hypertension, and I know that's one of the risk factors of getting a stroke. But who is at risk of getting a stroke?
So one, people who have hypertension, people who have diabetes, people who smoke, so no smoking, leave. And then those people who have hyperlipidemia, meaning high fat content in the blood, and then also obesity. And all of these we can change with the choices we make. So the majority of the stroke is related to these factors, and these are all lifestyle choices that we can make to be improving our cholesterol. We can improve our blood pressure by going to the doctor, getting checked, get it treated. All of these that have treatment you can get at your primary care doctor.
How prevalent is it in Jamaica?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
How prevalent is it in Jamaica?
Sorry, I didn't hear that very well.
How often do we get that stroke in Jamaica? Is it a lot?
All right. So what happened is the data that we have right now is not very stroke specific. But what we do know is that 30% of the deaths that occur in Jamaica as of 2016 are related to cardiovascular diseases, which is stroke and heart attack. Now look at this. In 2007, 2008, we recognized that 1.4% of prevalence is related to stroke, while 0.7% prevalence was heart attack. So we know that stroke could almost be more than heart attack in terms of prevalence, and therefore we need to have people aware of stroke, and so we can reduce disability.
Yeah, I see. It says stroke is a leading cause of disability. I wanted to ask you, what is the Jamaica Stroke Alliance, Doc?
So the Jamaica Stroke Alliance is a group who have come together, the Alliance, and our aim is to foster relationships with the private and public sector to increase stroke awareness. Also, we want to improve access to quality stroke care within our health systems. And so we want to work with also the health systems, the health professionals in improving stroke education and stroke awareness to the whole of Jamaica.
Sure. Okay. Final question, Dr. Morgan China. If you, God forbid, if you do get a stroke and you do what you're supposed to do, you get to the hospital in time, how long before you are back to, I don't know if you get back to 100%, but how long before you're healed, if that's the word?
I would like to say for Jamaicans, prevention is the best cure. In terms of, we want people to not have a stroke, because everybody's physiology will respond differently to when that blood vessel is broken or is blocked. And so I can't say specifically for that particular person how they will manifest. Mm-hmm. And therefore, prevention is best. You have people who have come in with severe stroke and they're unable to do anything for themselves. They can't bathe themselves, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't feed themselves. And this is why prevention and controlling the risk factors is a huge part of stroke management. When you do have a stroke and you do survive, then it's secondary prevention, because a quarter of our strokes in the data internationally, is actually a recurrent stroke. So if you have had a stroke, you're at risk of another stroke. And by your choices, you can prevent a worse outcome or another stroke.
Thank you
Okay.
so much for speaking with us this morning, and stay safe. God bless you.
Thank you for having us.
Acting
pleasure.
chairperson of the Jamaica Stroke Alliance, Dr. Kimikawa Morgan Channer.
What would your granny say? Well, I don't know, because I never lived with my granny. But my mother used to go and like she's our granny still. So we'll find out on the other side of the break what granny says. So come.